Hello students, first of all we will discuss the quiz conducted yesterday, the questions we will discuss, and then we will cover some points based on adiabatic and isothermal processes. So the first question of the quiz was the first law of thermodynamics is given by. So if dq minus du is equal to w, then it would be correct. If it is Pw plus Cv dt, because du is nothing but plus Cv dt. So in that case these all three options would be correct and all of the above will be the correct option. But in this case it should be here dw equal to dq minus du, or here it should be dq equal to pdv minus plus Cv dt. Then it would be correct. So the correct option for this is dq is equal to dw plus du. Then our next question is, the process at constant temperature is called dash dash process and its PV diagram is called dash dash. So the correct answer to this is isothermal and isotherm. The process is isothermal and PV diagram is called isotherm. The work done is always 0 in isochoric process, the process in which the volume does not change, and we know PdV is work done. So that's why for isochoric process work done is equal to 0. Heat is not exchanged in adiabatic process. So these are some very easy examples. Sign of work done in the process depends upon, and the option were temperature, change in volume, volume of the system, and work is done by the system or on the system. So the correct option to this is work is done by the system or on the system, because change in volume, that is dV, gives you the magnitude. It will not give the sign of work done. Sign of the work done depends on whether the work has done by the system or done on the system. So the correct option is option 4. Temperature is intensive variable. So that is very easy question. Everyone has given correct answer to this. Which of the following relation is true? So there are various equations and this is a ratio, adiabatic ratio, that is given by gamma, okay, or small r we can write, or we have to type, then we can write small r, but capital R is the gas constant, and we have derived the relation Cp equal to Cv plus R. So from that you can directly write R is equal to Cp minus Cv. So this is the correct option. The area under the PV curve represents. So we have also drawn PV diagrams, or you can also find it from the equation PdV. So that is nothing but the total work done. For total work done, we find out the area under the curve, and area under the curve or integration of PdV. Okay, so the correct answer is total work done. During expansion, the work done by the gas. Okay, here we have seen what is the magnitude. If the expansion is done by the gas, then the work done is positive, and it is done on the gas, then the work done is negative. If the work done is 0 in some process, then now we know work done is 0 means dW is equal to 0, and we know the first law of thermodynamics says dq is equal to dW plus du. So if dW is 0, that is no work done, then dq is equal to du. So option 3 is correct. dq is equal to du. If it is dq is equal to u 0, then it is adiabatic process. If the temperature of the system does not change during the process, then dash dash is also constant. So the answer is internal energy. Why? Because we have seen this du is can be written as Cv into dt. Okay. So if the process is isothermal, that means temperature is not changing, that means dt is equal to 0, and that means Cv into dt is 0, that is du, change in internal energy, is 0. So internal energy will not change, means it is constant. All other quantities may or may not change. The change in internal energy is 0 in isothermal process, just we discussed. Heating of the water in a lake due to the sunlight is dash dash process. Now see, the atmospheric pressure will not change due to this process. So the pressure is constant, that's why the process is isobaric. The work done for isobaric process is both PdV and RdT, because we have seen the relation dW is equal to PdV, that is equal to RdT minus VdP. We have derived this equation from PV is equal to RT. Okay, N is equal to 1. So in that case, if we take differentiation of both sides, the differentiation of left hand side will be PdV plus VdP, and here it will be RdT. So work done is PdV, so we will take VdP on the other side, so it will become minus. So now we have given the process is isobaric, that is dP is equal to 0, so this term will get cancelled. So for work done we can either use PdV or RdT, any of this we can use. So option D is correct. Now for a certain gas, the heat capacity at constant volume is given, and it is asked that what will be its adiabatic ratio. So we have seen the relation gamma is equal to Cp upon Cv, and we have also seen Cp is equal to Cv plus R, and now you have given that Cv is equal to 8.314. so this is exactly the gas constant, so R has the same value, Cv is the same value. So if we put here R plus R upon R or Cv plus Cv upon Cv, that will be 2Cv upon Cv, so Cv and Cv will get cancelled, and this will be equal to 2. So you need not to calculate using calculator, it is just double and then the constant value R will get cancelled or Cv get cancelled. So the option 3 is correct, answer is 2. For an isothermal process, P2 is 3P1, so after the process the pressure is tripled. What will be the ratio of V1 upon V2? So using the gas law, PV is equal to RT, we can find out in isothermal process T is constant, so P1 V1 equal to P2 V2, and from that you can find out P2 upon P1 is equal to V1 upon V2. So the answer is 3. Then in the next process, it is asked that for an isochoric process P2, the same question, but instead of isothermal the process is now isochoric, and we have asked what is the ratio of V1 upon V2. Many of students have selected this insufficient information answer, but that is not required. Some of you might have think that in isochoric process T is not constant, so we should have some ratio of T, but in this case the process itself is isochoric, that means volume is not changing, and that's why the ratio will be equal to 1, because initial volume and final volume is the same, that's why answer 1 is correct, that is option 3. For a gas with adiabatic ratio 1.5, we cannot type gamma, so I have typed small r. So what will be the heat capacity? We can find out either Cv or Cp. So using the same formula, this is given 1.5, so if I take this formula for gamma, then and I will rearrange, I will take this Cv to this side, so this will give me Cv into gamma, that is equal to Cv plus R. So I will take this Cv to LHS, and then we will take it common, and this will be gamma minus 1 this is equal to R. So we have given the value of gamma, that is 1.5, so this will become 0.5, and we know value of R, that is 8.314, but we have given options in only one digit after the decimal point, so we will just take 8.3, so half CV is equal to 8.3. So if we take 0.5 to the another side, it will become divided by 0.5 or into 2, so it will be 16.6. so CV will be equal to 16.6. so this is the correct answer. And if you have to find out CP, then use this relation CP equal to CV plus R. so this will become 8.3 plus 16.6, that is 24.9. so if this is CP, then it would be correct, but this is given CV, so the correct option is second, CV is equal to 16.6. Then next question is, during certain process gas is expanded twice and pressure is reduced to its 1/3 of original value. The process has initial temperature of 600 Kelvin. What will be the final temperature? So there is certain process, we can use this gas constant or gas law. So using this law we can write P2 upon P1 into V2 upon V1, that is equal to T2 upon T1. so we can put this value. What is given? Pressure is reduced to its 1/3, so this ratio is 1/3, and into volume is doubled, so this is equal to 2, and we have given the initial temperature, so T2 upon T1, that is 600. so if you solve for T2, here 2 3s are 6, and if you take 200 to that side, it will get multiplied with this 2 and it will be 400 Kelvin. so the final temperature of that after the process is 400 Kelvin. Option second is correct. Then the last question is, for a gas having only 2 degrees of freedom, the average thermal energy is A into KT, where K is Boltzmann constant and T is the temperature. We know A is some constant, so we have to find out the value of that constant. We already studied that every particle or every mole of gas has half kBT energy or half KT energy to its every axis or every degree of freedom. So we have 2 degrees of freedom, so we will multiply this with 2, so 2 get cancelled, so this is equal to 1 into KT. so the value of A KT is equal to 1 KT, so comparing we will get A is equal to 1. so first option is correct. If it has 3 dimensions, then it would be 3/2 and the correct option would be 1.5, but as there are only 2 degrees of freedom, the correct option is 1. Okay, so this was the about the quiz. Then we will discuss some types of processes. Now we have seen these processes, adiabatic and isothermal, but there is one point still to be discussed, that if the process is very fast, it is likely to be the adiabatic process, or we can say the adiabatic processes are mostly the fast processes or very fast processes. Why it is so? In adiabatic process, the change in heat is 0. Okay, so we have seen already when we find out the work done in adiabatic processes, the work has done because the internal energy changes, because there is no change in heat. So when expansion takes place, the system cools down, or when the compression takes place, heating comes up. But why it happens? When it happens, when the process is very fast, unless it is isolated. If the system is isolated from the surrounding, then it can be adiabatic and it can be slow. But if the system is not perfectly insulated or isolated from the surrounding, then it has to be very fast so that it can be adiabatic. When it is very fast, there is no time, there is no sufficient time to exchange the heat with the surrounding. Here exchange means either absorbing or releasing. So in adiabatic process, neither happens. So in order to be adiabatic process, the process should be very fast so that it will not get any time to exchange its heat. So in adiabatic expansion, the system will get cooled, and if the system is compressed very fastly, then the system will be heated up. Here heated up is not related to heat exchange, it is related to temperature change. Okay, heating up means temperature is increased, or cooling means temperature is decreased. So we call this as heating up, but it is not really exchange of heat. So adiabatic process needs to be very fast. Now on the contrary, isothermal process should be very slow, because it has to maintain its temperature, and to maintain its temperature it has to exchange heat with the surrounding, either absorb or release. Okay, so isothermal processes will be very slow. Okay, these are very slow processes. Now if we take all the universe as a system, then what will be the type of process? That will be adiabatic process, because all the heat is in the universe and it will not be exchanged with the surrounding, because universe will not have any surrounding, because universe is itself a system. So all the processes are adiabatic if we consider the system to be whole universe. We cannot say whether it is isothermal or isobaric or isochoric, because we know, as astrophysics students, we know the universe is expanding, so V is changing, and we actually don't know about pressure, whether pressure is changing really or not. So if this is the case, we don't know pressure is changing or not, V is definitely changing, then we cannot say T is changing or not, and that's why we cannot really say the process is isothermal or isochoric or isobaric. But we can definitely say that process is adiabatic, because there is no exchange of heat. There is one more thing, heat is additive property. Suppose these are two systems, system A and system B. Then if this has heat Q1 and this has heat Q2, system A has temperature T1 and system B has temperature T2. Now if we add these two properties, if we add these two systems, the heat will get added, but the temperature will not get added. We will calculate average temperature, because suppose this is water at 0 degrees Celsius and this is water at 50 degrees Celsius. So if we add these two waters, then it will not be 50 degrees, or let's say here the temperature of the water is 10 degree and the temperature of this water is 50 degree. If we add them together, the temperature will not rise, it will not be 60 degree, it will be definitely less than 50 and more than 10. Okay, so it will be some average. So temperature is not additive quantity, so that's why we cannot say whether the process in the universe is isothermal or not. Volume is definitely getting adding up, but volume is changing. We know universe is accelerating, it is expanding, and so we consider all the processes in the universe as a system are adiabatic. Thank you for watching, and in the next video, in the next lecture, we will start second topic, which is related to the second law of thermodynamics.